Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is your request. A lot of you recently have been asking me what brushes do I use, what tools do I need to do my makeup. So today, that's what the video is going to be about. I will hopefully try and remember to link everything that I mentioned down in the description box, so if you want to buy any of these products you can, and it's there, it's convenient. But anyway, if you would like to know what brushes I use, what tools I use, what do I use them for, just keep on watching. The tools that I use to do my skincare, to apply my skincare, to take my makeup off with, is my hands. They are gentle enough, however thorough enough to clean your face. The tools aren't as important, it's the product. So your makeup remover, toner, is more important than what you apply it with. People tend to use clarisonic, it's good for acne, however you can very easily damage your skin, itch your face. You're better off, if you want to exfoliate your skin, just using a good scrub. I personally recommend this one from Murad. Wash your face for about a minute, and if the product is good, it will clean your skin. You don't need any tools. You only need your hands, water, and maybe a towel to pat your skin dry. Let's get to the makeup portion. So I have created this little pot of what I would consider a beginner's guide. This isn't all of my brushes. Yes, I have about 4 of these of dirty brushes. All of these are dirty, they need a wash. That's what I'm going to do next. I love making colourful makeups, and if I was to use this brush again, it would change the colour of the original shade that I want to use. However, you don't need many. You know, if you have one brush and you're doing a brown smoky eye, you can use one brush to do your whole makeup because you can gradually make it darker. Majority of my brushes are Real Techniques because it's the brand that I trust. They have good quality brushes. They are all synthetic. I don't like to use real hair, because I use so much colour, so the brushes will get stained very easily. They are very expensive, and these days, especially Real Techniques, have perfected a way to create synthetic hair that is gentle enough on your skin. I also use Real Techniques sponge, my all-time favourite sponge. I have used a couple. I've used Primark sponges, way too hard for my liking. Beauty Blender is actually too soft for my liking. I love this sponge. I love the angle of it. I use this edge to set my under eye concealer, to tap it out, to put my foundation on, to put my highlight on. I really love this sponge, and I probably should use a new one. If you do use a sponge to apply your makeup, make sure to clean it every single time you use it. I don't clean it after my makeup, I clean it before applying my makeup. Technically pointless process, because if there is bacteria in there, and there will be, you're not killing it early enough. You are still letting it grow until next application. So as I'm wetting it, because most of us use sponges damp, I actually clean before I apply my makeup. So as I'm damping it, they are about £5, I think, which is great. It's literally, you could buy 4 of these and just one Beauty Blender. So do I have to say any more? Brilliant. If the brush has a description on it and it is called blush brush and you want to use it for bronzer, use it for bronzer. The fact that it says blush brush does not limit you to use it for blush. Don't listen to it, just use that as you want it. Multitasker brush. I really like this brush, super soft. You could use it for powder, for bronzer, for contour, for blush. You could potentially even use it to apply your foundation because it is synthetic. What do Sam and Nick always say? It can be used with cream, liquids or powders. You want like a light veil, almost like a BB cream effect with your foundation, you can use this brush. I don't use this every single day. I like to have it in my collection if I do feel like I want to be quick. It's a good one to have in your collection, however not essential. I feel like one of my go-to and essential face brushes is the Expert face brush. It is essentially a foundation brush. Sometimes the water that's in the sponge doesn't mix with the foundation formula itself and it separates, so sometimes you might need to use a brush. My favourite way to use this brush, just say it with me, cream contour or cream bronzer. I'll draw lines on my face, dab this out, effortless, makes it seamless. It's equally as amazing, this brush, as cream contour itself. So if you've never tried cream contour, if you've never tried this brush, highly recommend it. But again, because this is synthetic, you can use powder with it. It is very dense, so you don't want to use a lot of product for your powder contour, but you could set your under eyes with this if you really wanted to pack it on. You could probably even bake with this. Again, so many uses for this. I have one brush that's like unbranded. It is the only brush I kept from my I think it was like 36 brushes set that you can buy on eBay. I bought that when I first started doing my makeup, and don't buy it. You are better off buying your brushes individually because you will know exactly what you want, and each brush you will use. Like I said, out of the 36 brushes that I got in that pack, I only kept one. Purely because I like the angle. There's so many brushes like this. You don't need this one. Real Techniques Bold Metals 300, even though it's completely different shape, it does the same job. I know it's very tempting to buy, I bought it. I saw 36, I can't remember, 24, 36 set of brushes, blah blah blah, for $12.99 or whatever. It's so tempting, but trust me when I say, when it comes to the eye portion, you will only get like flat brushes. Usually they are lacking fluffy brushes, and you can't really do your makeup with flat brushes. You're better off just using your hands, just using your fingers. Don't bother. This one is great. Like I said, I kept it. I use it almost every single day. And yes, these Bold Metals ones are quite expensive. However, you can buy like a fake one on eBay as well. This particular brush is fake and it works great. It did fall apart. I did have to glue it together, but the bristles never fell out and they are super soft. Highlighting brush. You can get fan brushes. I'm not a fan of fan brushes. I like to buff my highlighter in so it's seamless, so it looks like part of my skin. My favourite way to apply it is with a sponge, as you'll know. However, I do sometimes apply it with a brush. My favourite brush is the Inglot 6SS. It's actually an eye brush, I think. This is real hair. Yes, it's super soft. I sometimes do use it when it's clean. I do sometimes use it to put some shadow on my eye. But a nice dupe for this, setting brush from Real Techniques. Not really the same size, but equally as good for highlight. Really good if you want to be very selective about your setting areas. I highly recommend that one. And finally, my favorite. I love doing my eyes. I love my eye brushes. I'm going to start off with brows. This bad boy, you will know, this is the only angled brush dedicated for my brows because I had to cut it up myself. I got this from my mum when she stopped doing her makeup, and it's a brilliant angle. The only issue I had with it was that it was too thick, so I had to cut it at either side to make it super thin. Don't go for angled brushes that are too thick because it will give you a blocky brow effect. Even if you at home need to cut either side of the brush, don't worry about it, just do it. It's only a brush. One thing I'm going to advise you not to spend your money on at all is spoolies, because you already probably have one. I love reusing my old mascaras. Super easy to clean. Just take your makeup remover wipes, whatever you use to remove your makeup, clean it, and it's a brilliant thing. You could use it for mascara, you could use it to even to exfoliate your lips a little bit. Don't be too harsh on your lips. I probably have about 5 spoolies now because obviously you need to renew your mascaras quite frequently. My all-time favourite brush, if I had to choose one brush only, I would choose this. Bold Metals Real Techniques 203. I only have one. I did buy the Brush Crush, I think it's 205 or 305. Similar to this, not as good, nowhere near as good. This is such a perfect brush. I can use it as a packing brush, I can use it as a blender brush, I can use it as my inner corner highlight brush. I probably, and this could be a video idea, I could probably do my whole makeup with these two. This brush and a sponge. Oh, maybe brows would be difficult. One disadvantage of this is its price. So I do have a couple of brushes that are very similar to this. One is from H&M, which I actually do need to get rid of. It can be a little scratchy on your eye. Crease blending brushes from H&M. Very, very similar shape, but my favorite brand of eye brushes is MSQ on Amazon. Super soft and super cheap, maybe just ever so slightly bigger than the 203, but it is freaking brilliant. I have bought 3, maybe 4 packets of the set that I'm going to link down below. I paid $7.99, $8.99, and you get about 10-12 brushes, and I use every single one. Unlike the 36 piece that I talked about earlier, if I could afford this one, I would buy hundreds, but because they are expensive, I can't afford to buy hundreds. I can't afford to buy hundreds of these. Sometimes you do get an odd hair that sticks out. However, for the price that you're paying, if one brush falls apart out of the whole packet, you still have the rest that you can use. And trust me when I say you will use them all. You will use the flat brush. This flat brush is brilliant. I carved my brows out with this. I primed my lids with this. I cut my crease with this. Another brush from that collection, pencil brushes. They are so good to apply shadow on your lower lash line. If you have small eyes, you will love these to apply your shadows with. You get that small blending brush that I keep using all the time in my crease. There you go, got 2 there. They are so good and in like blending your crease out. However, if you've got super huge eyes, I'm jealous, you do get a couple of super fluffy brushes as well. You get like a flat angled brush, you get a small angled brush. Highly recommend, super good. Check out the link down below. Not sponsored, obs. The last 2 tools that I'm just going to throw in because they are not very obvious. They are both nail tech tools. I bought these in Pound World. Like I said, they are both nail tools. It's a dotting tool which I use for my freckles. Super convenient. I love using liquid lipsticks for my freckles because I can just do like 4 or 5 dots, use my finger and then transfer 3 or 4 dots, so it just makes it super quick. I bet you recognize this bad boy. This is the only fan brush that I like using. I love to apply my brow bone highlight with this brush because it's super small, super thin, and it just makes it effortless and very quick. I sometimes do use it to apply my regular highlight with this as well, but I always go with the sponge on top anyway. I just talked for bloody ages. I'm thirsty. I think I covered everything. I think I covered every tool that I use, apart from like lash curlers, but I don't use that every single day. The tweezers that I use, I cannot remember the name of, but I do prefer these over any other shape. These are pointy rather than straight or angled ones because I can literally pluck one hair at a time if I want to. I use this to apply my lashes as well. These are bloody brilliant. I'll try and find a similar pair or something along the lines of these and link that down below as well. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I know it's completely different. Nothing to do, I almost said nothing to do with makeup. A lot to do with makeup. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to know what are your staple tools that you use in your makeup, and I hope to see you next time.